You know, he's been here for ages. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people if you haven't gotten to see him play. And Chewy's, of course, we'll see if he continues to go all in on the team that he's been showing off on stream and in here. I think this is going to be a real fun one, guys. Again, everything on the line. The semifinals, we're deciding our finalists for day 2 here at the Com2us USA Invitational and who moves forward to meet Sub-Zero in the grand finals.
Yep, those pre-bans already locked in. It is a Juno and the Wind Twin Angel. How did the Wind Twin Angels make it down there? That's crazy to me.
Out of all of the represented Twin Angels too, they're Stoic. Like that's, to me, that's the craziest part. So they are really invested in that particular one. Sola dipping into the Gapsu, which we haven't seen him do yet.
Yeah, so we see the Gapsu, there's the Fire Twin Angels, and that frigate making its way back in here as well. So we haven't seen the pivot yet from Chewy's. It's still in this Twin Angels realm right now. I don't know if this speaks like a rune depth issue, that we can't rune up a ton of things, because often that's usually the case where you'll rune up a specific team and just all your quality is right there in that realm, where you don't want to spread it too thin and, you know, start dabbling in other things. But you know what? We're seeing a pivot. So there's that Molong and the Dak Hapu.
Yeah. So is this the answer for whenever somebody brings too much auto cleanse to deal with the team? This is a really interesting piece of tech that he's bringing for his team. And then Sola now locks in my favorite unit right now, the Wind Monkey King. So that way he can get some counterattacks, disrupt what Chewy's is trying to do. I think that's just a generally good response. Though it may not soak up the ban, Stoic. I think Chewy's might opt to ban one of the, Smicer. Great.
Yeah, so Smicer, I think, was one of the bigger problems right there for Chewy's. And I think Molong is an excellent ban for Sola. It's like the one thing you can't really account too much for, like when a Reckless goes off at a perfect time. There really isn't anything you could do about that. But I think Smicer was an excellent ban for Chewy. So let's see what happens. We get in our very first match in a best-of-5 with Sola and Chewy.
And he's got the Water Twin Angels. And he's going to get a strip, but is not rewarded with a defense break. He could try to go for a couple stuns here. It's not the full team like you'd maybe want, but I think you go for it regardless and is rewarded with Veramos.
Yeah, so the defense break, in my opinion, is extremely important for Chewy's because he's looking to go for Water Twin Angels into Fire Twin Angels and then just pile in that damage on a defense break. So that did not happen here. And that, see, look at the damage we got there. We're almost 50% there. There's the defense break. There's an almost dropped Vanessa already. So I think we need to set up a defense break and make a huge move. So it's going to go on to the frigate. He needs to do something massive here, and we're not even going to get it. Even with the additional turn, we're not going to see all that damage like Solo was hoping for.
Very suspiciously tanky frigate. I thought that HP bar was going to move a lot more from the damage with the Wind Monkey King. That, what we're seeing here, he looks low now, but that's the efforts of 3 different monsters with a proc.
Exactly, and the frigate handled that really, really well. Big skill here from Bombardment, only getting a couple stuns. Obviously, Veramos has something to say about this. You know, able to sustain the team, gain a lot of attack bar himself.
He'll remove 1, right? You know, he doesn't gain any attack bar though because he has to attack in order for him to get the attack bar after that. Can the Wind Monkey King just lock someone down? Gets a stun on Seren.
Oh, there's that boost from Frigate. We're pushing our team up. Maybe we just go all into this Gapsu. You know, it is something that you are worrying about. Now, there's not a lot of sustain for Chewy, so it does surprise me that we are seeing this game.
Yeah, I agree. And is that bomb going to go off? It looks like it will go off on him, but it doesn't actually deal too much damage.
Yeah, not much damage at all. That makes me really interested to see I'm curious what the frigate looks like, because the frigate stayed alive. It was able to take a lot of damage, but you know what I mean? Like, does the artifacts not have bomb damage on it? I don't know. I was expecting a much bigger number.
I'm wondering the same things as you here, Stuck, because Chewy's was able to lock down the first kill of the game, but it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win, because what Sola's left with is what I would call the essentials of his pick ban here. So even now, I'm not sold on the fact that he is 100% out. You get some clutch cleanses from Veramos, you get some incidental counterattacks and stuns with the disruption that Jingjae provides, and you've got a turnaround.
So the big thing for Chewy's right now is he has 3 units that can apply defense break, and those are 3 windows for his Fire Twin Angels to take advantage of. That's all Chewy needs right now, is to get that defense break. There's your Violent proc. Your Violent proc into a skill 3 defense break comes out, and let's see where the damage goes. So how much damage is it? It should be a lot.
It could be big.
Should.
And you saw Solo's reaction there too, because he didn't get the pushback from Veramos. This is going to be a confirmed kill on the Jingjae. Oh, there you go.
Yep, there it was. So you just needed to get a defense break to help eliminate units there. So well done on Chewy, because I don't think Veramos has what it takes to finish this match off now, because it kind of just repeats that same process. There's the defense break, capitalize on that damage. Seren or the Fire Twin Angels, it's too much damage. Even the additional turns, you don't even need these additional turns. So he's wrapping up units. That's a lot of damage there. What was that? 4.5, 4.2, I think, per hit coming from Fire Twin Angels. So well done, Chewy, on bringing that kind of damage. I feel like Sola changes up his draft a little bit, because I'm not sure if a Gapsu Veramos was the answer.
I think he might. Sola, we saw a reaction towards the end after Veramos ripped that skill 2 on the enemy team. He didn't get the pushback or the stuns that he was looking for, and that gave Chewies the opportunity to go to use Frigate's skill 3, boost up the team, and capitalize on the defense break. So we'll see if Sola thinks that that's an error with the team, or if he just got unlucky. You know what I mean? Like, there could be an effort here to try it again and say, I could, if I'm rewarded another time, or rather if it goes the way I think it should, then the team is solid. We'll see if he adjusts.
Super interesting So I love the pre-ban on the Water Twin Angels. Interesting pre-ban here on Seimei.
Yeah, we saw Seimei's impact before. Like you said, one of the strongest LDs in terms of a turn 2 setup in the game. So, and also a very notable counter to what Chewies is bringing.
Well, minus the bombs, you're able to cleanse heal off of. Oh, I'm sorry. You're able to. Bombs is the only thing. It's the only thing that Seimei can't do anything about. Everything else, you're good, but not bombs. And to see that down there's that's interesting.
I could also see, like, I doubt Sola's got one ruined up, but maybe a Tetra would also be cute up against the bombs and some of this stuff, and it's also off element for the Water Twins. Like, I think maybe a little bit more water would be good. Sola's bringing the Kraka, the dark Hell Lady into this.
Oh, we're going like the turnest of twos right now for Sola with Kraka, Nana out here. We're Juno Smicer. So what I was going to say about Coco is the Fire Twin Angels remind me a lot of Coco, where it's like a ton of damage, bunch of multi-hits, but not with the passive to increase that damage. And it looks like Solo wants nothing to do with it. So he bans that out. We're in that same situation of looking for a defense break, providing a ton of damage, and then just like one-shotting something with Reckless.
Yeah, and a reminder for folks watching at home, this is best of 5, so Chewy's maybe ahead, but he is not at match point yet. We'll let you know when that happens. And I liked your comparison there, Stoic. It's like the Fire Twin Angels do feel like Coco, the Fire Mage, just maybe like a little less damage, but for a faster payoff.
Yeah, and you need something to bring the defense break onto the field as well. So big damage from Chewies. He's able to eliminate a unit very, very quick. So well done, man.
Yeah, got that good proc capitalize on it. It's going to cycle attack bars with Kraka and can also bring back Vanessa with the reduction on cooldown, so that way all these revives are up. Look at how much revive is on the enemy team here when you're looking from the side of Chewies.
It is. I mean, you got to kill a lot of things, and you got to take advantage of those windows. And can Reckless Assault get back up soon enough to eliminate units here? I don't know, because maybe Solo brought exactly what needed to be brought to a draft like Chewies, where Chewies is trying to bring just gas. Chewy's bringing lots of gas. He wants to take advantage of defense break, provide lots of damage to Coco that already got banned out here. A Reckless Assault from Mo Long, but we have 3 forms of revives, and just it's looking pretty consistent for Sola.
I think we might have just seen Sola crack the code on this draft live, which is so, like, again, credit to Sola, because like being able to do something like that under pressure in a tournament setting is that's one of the hardest and most difficult, like the biggest test of skill in a tournament setting. How fast you can deconstruct an enemy draft and counter it live. And going for a full team of revives is not something that I had considered.
Yeah, like there's no true sustain minus like a Juno, but I wouldn't consider Juno like, oh, that's my sustain to keep my team alive. It was just kind of revives. It was revives, and then just like windows of small damage that you can do when it comes to just applying defense break, and then Juno like leaning into it. Honestly, he weathered the storm. He weathered the storm with revives, knowing that Chewy's going to be picking all these units that bring instant damage like Reckless Assault and even Coco.
PPHP just said he just cracked the code. That's good. That's real good.
I appreciate that. I
can't believe it took. I wouldn't have even seen it if you hadn't pointed it out. That was a very good observation. Oh, look at this. Chewy's finally gets the Water Twin Angels. It actually feels like it's been a second since we've seen this as a member of his draft.
Yep, so Water Twin Angels, I do think that's like the core of his draft. He goes Water Twin Angels. So this is where I'm going to bring it up and wonder, like, the depth here. Does he have enough depth to ruin other things? But it looks like we're repeating that same situation. Maybe that's just what he wanted to bring to the table here tonight and really push the envelope on Water Twin Angels. But we know the combination we're talking about. The defense break coming from Water Twin Angels, the Fire Twin Angels following up right behind it to help, eliminate a unit here. Sola should already know what to do. I feel like the agenda is still the same. We're worried about providing defense breaks and then dealing damage. That's what Chewy's trying to do, and Sola just has to respond to that.
Yeah, I'm going for the belief that this is exactly what Chewy's wants to be playing, and that's why he goes all in for it. Oh, I had forgotten about the Elenoa. This has been foreshadowed in a pre-ban, but I don't think we've actually seen it go in a game yet, if I'm not mistaken. So Elenoa and the Coco. So this is going to be an interesting situation where regardless of what is banned here, we're going to get a new member of this team on Chewy's side.
I think what's also really neat and a cool note to take from Chewy's draft here is I do think the Coco and Fire Twin Angels, they provide lots of damage, but they're also units that could take advantage of additional damage at the same time, allowing you to make them a little bit tankier and still get a justified number where you're happy with the damage being performed. And that's great. And Elenoa, allows you to do that thing all over again and keep providing that kind of damage. But knowing that your team is able to still take a hit when you can rely on additional damage to finish stuff off.
A lot is weighing on Smicer here to keep control of the Coco, that Fire Mage in the bottom right-hand corner, because I think that could be where Sola's team is going to falter with that big damage.
Oof.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, he knew immediately. He needed to see that strip and then take advantage of Coco. He needs to stun it up, lock that unit down here. There really isn't much more he can do. Those are horrible procs because you can't do anything with those procs, and that just means windows of opportunity for Chewy. So there's the bomb, strip stun, landing on top of this Wind Twin Angels, which is very fortunate. Maybe you just go for a skill 1 strip on the Coco and then pray for a proc in the third. Even though he had already got a couple procs there, because the procs right now are more in favor of Chewy.
I'm with you. I think maybe just a skill 2 or a skill 1 to try to strip or a skill 2 to refresh the bomb a little faster. I love getting to see the players' cameras. Oh, the additional turn. We're going to see it rip right now.
Yeah,
oh, my goodness.
So much damage. So the interaction right now when it comes to Shizuka, you can use Shizuka to use skill 2 to bring back a not fully revived version of Vanessa, but you can utilize that revive from Vanessa to bring another unit back in that situation. So that little thing is still on the table right now for Sola, so it's not down and out yet for this Vanessa.
Yep, there's some interplay. It's a cute combo with Shizuka and or Seimei, along with any revive option like Vanessa. Another one that stands out is like Oberon. Another proc to activate the extra damage faster. Man, that's great.
Yeah, that's very fortunate right now for Chewy's. If he can keep up with that kind of damage, I don't think Sola can come back from this one right now. We've got lots of immunity. We've got, nice little attack buff sitting on. Probably the best unit to have an attack buff on is these Fire Twin Angels.
The Fire Twin Angels and the Coco together are just pumping out so much damage against Sola. It's really plain and simple. He's going for a huge amount of burst damage, and Sola's team is just unable to keep up. It's a very simple solution to a complex problem.
Yeah, exactly. Do we think we just go back and have our draft ready to be in that revive realm if Chewy's going to be staying this way? But to see a third match from Chewy's and it hasn't changed, I do think Sola lives in that world of just being ready for something similar and just bringing the revives, because it worked out with them once. The pre-ban in the in this match didn't say I'm trying to stop that revive stuff from Sola, and I do think this kind of confirms it that if Sola plays in that same realm, he'll be okay going into our next match.
And for folks in chat who are very intrigued by the draft that Chewies is showing off, I want to remind everyone that every participant in the tournament in these 2 days of the Com2us Invitational, they're all content creators. So please give them a follow. Ask to see the runes, ask to see the gameplay, the core on stream. I'm sure they'd love to give questions and comments from the game too. And down goes the Shizuka Stoic.
Yeah, Shizuka's dropping here. I mean, I was expecting Shizuka to drop. I'm actually expecting this Monkey King to drop as well. I don't think there's anything Sola that could do more here. There's just too much damage, and I think he needs to go back into that similar play as that previous match that he had won, because I do think Chewy is confirming to have the same play style. The units that are coming off as like extra right now is the Molong, it's the Coco. Those are things right now that Sola has to worry about. So if I was Sola pre-banning, either you're first picking that Water Twin Angels if he has first pick this turn, I can't remember, or pre-ban the Water Twin Angels out if he does not have first pick, just to stop the Fire Twin Angels from coming out and doing exactly what Chewy's been doing from all of his previous matches up to this point. There it is.
Yeah, that's really what you need to be concerned about. There's the pre-ban that you shouted out to. If I'm Sola in this position, I do think I'd want to return back to the revive comp, as it were. Anti-revive is kind of few and far between, so we haven't seen anything that Chewy's has yet that would deny revive options. And it looks like maybe Sola is actually planning to go that route, perhaps.
Yes, and I think Vanessa's a great first pick from Sola because it showcases similar drafts that he has brought in the past, but also that ability to still do what he had won that match with all the revives and everything like that. So Chewy's right now, there's some mind games to be played here where Chewy can bring the same thing, but also pivot, and the Juno is a bit of a change, and there it is, comes right back to it after confirming that Sola doesn't have enough of his draft to then bring in more revives. Because if he goes Kraken Nana here, you could ban out one, and now there's, instead of, well, he still gets the 3 revives through, technically.
He still
or at least
gets,
2
yeah.
revives through.
You could do it. I also, I think he could potentially do it here. He's really considering, which tells me that he wasn't as all in on that as before. He's going for the auto cleanse route again. Maybe does he do a Veramos? Oh, a Meiho Wang. Yes. There you go. Anti-crowd control, stays up all the time, ready to apply defense break and stuns.
Okay, so I love that the Eleanoa is going to be catching a ban here. So the one reason why Chewy's draft may not work is he needs to lead with a defense break for the Fire Twin Angels to pop off, and that is eliminated right now. So he can't lead with the defense break. He just doesn't have it. We do have a defense break that is on this Frigate, but it looks like Frigate's going to be the unit of focus right now. If he can eliminate that, there's no defense break, and then it's all additional damage throughout for Fire Twin Angels to pop off. So Sola, he realizes that. He's trying to get rid of that unit. The bombs, the defense break sitting on top of it, it's very fortunate. Nice little, despair stun to go out there, but Smice is one of those units that just don't care.
Oh yeah, Sola's made great progress on the Frigate already. So now Chewy's is in this position where he's trying to figure out, like, what do you want to set up here? And he wants to increase the cooldown time of the monkey, but it's like, he doesn't need those. He doesn't need cooldowns. The dude's crazy.
Yep, exactly. So the unit of focus, I do believe, for Chewy's is probably eliminating this Vanessa, but it looks like he's going to go after the Fire Monkey first. And I don't know if that is the right decision, where Fire Monkey provides lots of sustain, because even if you get him low enough, he's able to stun, heal himself up with skill 2, and he just still feels really problematic. So I know the Frigate has 1 foot in the grave. Is the bomb damage enough? I think Sola thinks he has enough bomb damage. And that's why he's not investing a ton into it. So we'll see what happens. He's going after the Fire Twin Angels. The defense break's sitting there. We have Miles and Fire Monkey who can provide plenty of damage to get rid of the Fire Twins here.
And Frigate goes down. And look at that. Sola was gesturing at the camera. I'm not sure, I couldn't tell if he was happy or not. I would be happy in this situation. Sola really pulled ahead here.
I think he just wasn't expecting the 2 stuns to go out on Miles and Vanessa here. But I think Sola's in a great spot right now. I don't see Chewy's coming out of this one here. And I think it really comes down to that first turn. Chewy's looking to set up a defense break and then use the Fire Twin Angels to then take something out. And I think if Sola can stop that and then have something to deal with the potential of a Coco, a Molong in the future of Chewy's draft, then if he can respond to that, then I think Sola's in a great position. But Chewy's right now, I think one of his biggest weaknesses he's showcasing right now is predictability right now in his draft. He's confirmed it for a lot of matches today, and the 3 matches we've already had between him and Sola, and I think Sola should know the gameplay and draft accordingly.
Well said. He is all in on this draft, and everybody knows it. Everybody's seen it. You know, it's like we've talked about homework before. Well, the homework's coming to class. You know, you don't even have to watch it outside of school. It's like we're getting a full rundown of the team, and just like that, Sola's taken us to a Game 5, Stoic.
I know. So I feel like what doesn't help anybody is a Game 5 makes you super nervous. So you go from like, okay, everything's under control, you're playing your matches, but until you get to that Game 5, you're like, wow, I can't screw up now. So I do give favor right now to Sola, as long as Sola's paying attention to these matches. Chewy has been very consistent. And again, this could be the most 5-head mind play that Chewy's can do here, and that's to just throw everything out the window and bring something Sola's not prepared for, because the ban's gonna come through and it's a Juno ban. It's a Juno. All right, so the frigate's okay, but a Juno is the ban. I don't know if I'm on board with the Juno when you're bringing a Mo Long, you're looking to defense break and kill with the Fire Twin Angels, you've got the Coco in the background as well, and you're afraid of a Juno. That's interesting to
me. I mean, you're right. I think this is. I don't think this is the first time that we've seen either of these two monsters in the pre-ban phase, but I think you're right that Chewy's has got burst damage for days. It's like, it seems like the frigate is it feels like a bomb comp, but it isn't really a bomb comp. It's more like synergizing with the Fire Twin Angels and either Coco or something else.
Sola.
Ooh, Raccoony.
So what do you do about, I was going to say, the attack bar enabler, and it's going to be Velajewel in this time. So Velajewel's in that same position as Frigate. I would assume it's in like probably a similar rune quality. And then another damage dealer in the form of Coco this time. So what's the answer now? Because right now, if Miles gets banned out, Chewy's gets his window of opportunity.
Yeah, Miles being the big damage that's also so good up against all 3 of these fire units. Although now you could do, if you wanted to, you could go for another water unit and maybe ban out, say, honestly, the Coco still scares me regardless, if I'm being totally frank. The Coco's just high damage, and that freaks me out. It seems like it freaks Sola out a little bit too.
Yes.
So that and the Kraka are going to be gone. Chat, this is Game 5. After this, we're going to have the finalist for Day 2 going to meet Sub-Zero. Who is winning this game, chat? Sola or Chewy's? I want to hear it in the chat right now.
Dude, let's see what happens, because he's got to lock down the Water Twin. Locks down the Velajewel, because the Velajewel would have cleansed and pushed up the team. So that was a really good read. But still, it is on the table that he goes for defense break and then piles that damage in. Resistance is a cruel. We're dealing with it already, but he needs to land the resets here with this Oliva.
You saw how much that hurt Sola. You gotta reset him, dude, because Vela loves proccing in situations like this. Look, he still might, even with the increased cooldown time. This Miles Raccoony combo here, Stoic, is taking me back to seasons past. This is like 2023 Summoners War here, and it shows you that these units are still great. Neither of them has gotten changed. They just kind of fell out in lieu of the Holy Trinity.
Yep, and there's a nice little additional turn. I don't know if I would have done that ability there because the damage was not great. You can really tell how bad Chewy's needs the defense break to really have his unit pop off there. And that additional turn was bad because that caused that Miles to get the additional turn. And Velajewel has a foot in the grave already, with Oliver's going to be popping off right here. Doesn't get that confirmed kill just yet. There is a heal on the side of Chewy.
It's so close, and you could tell Sola felt that in his bones, you know, when he missed the kill with the Oliver. But you can rest a little bit comfortably in the sense that there's a silence on 2 of these units here. I forget if this is, there's going to be immunity, but there's not going to be any cleanse coming out to relieve Velajewel of that.
Yeah, Chewy burned the ability to deal damage he had already used, but no crit's going to be available right there, so that is going to be it for this Velajewel. He's got to take that unit out here. You know, I do believe heals are going to be up with the Water Twin Angels.
You go in on a different unit, because I think the Raccoony can confirm the kill or it'll boost up the Oliver, and if it happens to proc, or I'm sorry, boost up the Miles, and if it happens to proc, you can confirm.
No way.
Here we go. This is it was a little bit greedy.
Another additional turn. No way. He's able to turn that thing around. Here comes the skill 3 right onto the Twin Angels. So these are technically the only 2 units that Chewie like needs to stay alive to like produce damage and to get things going. So he doesn't need to quit there, but you know, he did it. That was some really big turnaround from Sola. I was still in Chewie's wheelhouse, to be honest with you, in that there was some very great situations for Sola. He took advantage.